uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports.
Yo, good afternoon, and shout out to the hottest chat in the MF and game, A-Side official. No negotiations needed, period. You already know WCS the first in the MF and building. Salute the big blunts and boxing on deck. What it do, blunt? Salute to you, mate. Stick 'em boys, fishing and sports on deck. Salute WCS. Salute blunts. Salute chat fam. What's good with it? So getting right to it, man. You see the thumbnail. Betebiev rates Haney top 5 on the pound for pound list. Betebiev, he's never been the one who was involved in a top 5 nation. But after his controversial victory, you know what I'm saying, the Islam brother, the Muslim, after his controversial win over Dimitri Bivol, you know, he's been making his rounds, you know what I'm saying, within the boxing community and allowing his voice to bless the mics of those who have the opportunity to have interviewed him before and after the said name fight. Now, I just want to speak on some topics, of course. As you're looking in the detailed description, the new pound for pound list forces Canelo out top 5, but welcomes Betebiev and Bivol. Do you agree? And that's a serious question. You know what I'm saying? This is a serious question on who's truly having influence, who's manipulating, what criteria, who is providing the criteria. What is the meeting like? Those individuals that's internal, that's discussing the criteria to be considered a top pound for pound. So let me take you very quickly to the pound for pound list. Why? Because I don't want to talk too much. I just want this to hit you, real early. Some of you at lunch. You know what I'm saying? I know how my people sometimes can go get some lunch and get that sweet tea and be out in the parking lot. Being that it's a little chilly now, you out there taking a nap out in the parking lot because that itis, that monkey done snuck up on your shoulders and you goddamn sleep. That's why I got to hurry up and get this out and wake your ass up, because this damn pound for pound list is definitely going to give you a little bit of caffeine. Now, this is the Ring pound for pound list. And it's funny how, I was in several conversations about who should be moved and who shouldn't, right? So let me take a little gander down at the bottom. Now, Devin Haney still sits at number 10. There was a fiasco initially on how he's saying, he didn't really need the ring or whatever. And the ring said he can put it in the mail or whatever. And, sooner or later, Devin Haney was inserted into the top 10. He is number 10, but he was inserted on the top 10 pound for pound list. And then, of course, you have Junto Nakatani, right? El Chinchecker himself, Gervonta Davis at number 8. And this is where it gets a little interesting, because previously number 7 was Dimitri Bivol and number 6 was Canelo Alvarez. Am I right or wrong? I'm wrong. Okay, pay attention now. This is Wednesday, shawty. Artur Beterbiev used to hold resident in number 6. Stay with me. Jasban Rodriguez was sitting at Cinco de Mayo. He was number 5. Canelo was sitting at number 4. And then the rest plays out the way it is. Terrence Crawford was sitting at number 3. Naoya Inoue was sitting at number 2. And then, of course, Alexander Usyk, number 1. I just want to talk about the top 7. Okay. The top 7 had a drastic shift in names based off one fight. 4 individuals, 4 slots on the pound for pound list was changed. How does that happen? Based off a decision win. How does 4 names change? How? I'm just curious. I always speak about the hocus pocus. I will continue to say that, a part of boxing deals with magic. What type of magic it is, that's up to you to determine. But Betebiev won. He was victorious over Bivol. Bivol was sitting at number 7, Betebiev at number 6, and Jesban Rodriguez at number 5, y'all. Canelo Alvarez was a former resident of slot number 4. And you're trying to convince me that all of a sudden 2 light heavyweights go the distance. There's one winner. And Dimitri Bivol goes in front of Canelo Alvarez, a fighter that he had already beat, that was higher on the pound for pound list than Betebiev has ever been to this date. To this date, they moved Canelo below Dimitri Bivol all of a sudden when Dimitri Bivol just picked up a loss from Betebiev. How are they trying to replay the welterweight when it was Crawford Spence? How are they trying to beef this up? Because Turkey Al-Sheikh has influence over the ring rating, because now it's beginning to look fishy. Very fishy. I'm talking about sardines on a hot summer day, and no one knew they was in the trunk of the car. Cracked open a little bit. The juice is spilled. And you with your girl, you say, baby, you good? She tell you, yeah. Okay. I'm just checking because we got the AC on. I smell. I'm not trying to accuse you of nothing, but it's some over here that's smelling a little sardinish, a little fishy. And she said, that ain't me. It must be that motherfucking pound for pound list then. I apologize, baby. I apologize for including you in it. It must be the pound, my bag. I pulled that shit up on my phone. I didn't even know, baby. I apologize. You know what I'm saying? I had this shit pulled up on my phone and forgot it was right there. That's how fishy this pound for pound list looks. There was no rematch clause in this fight at all. When Terrence Crawford defeated Errol Spence dropped outside the top 5 easily. And that was his first loss. Easily, yo. Errol Spence dropped out of the top 5 easily. So somebody explain to me, where are they gathering the information? What point system, what formula are you using to grade these fighters to make an entire shift of 4 fighters out of a range of 1 through 10? How can 4 fighters be resituated? How? How does this happen? How can you keep Bivol and Betebiev together, yo? How can you have Canelo outside of the top 5 when he has way more accolades? Look, Betebiev, no. Let me back. I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. Shit, god damn. Let me back up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I need to ask this question. What is the statutory? What is the range, the expiration date on when you become, for the first time now, undisputed in the division, right? Because Jermell Charlo did, and he didn't come nowhere near the pound for pound list. I'm just throwing that out there, right? He was pound for pound champion, 154. You know who he beat, okay? He beat Tony Harrison, Jason Rosario, Brian Castano. Okay, we got that cleared. Then we go and we look at his absence on the pound for pound list, but yet we look at Beterbiev's attendance. I can see why Bivol jumped on the pound for pound list by defeating Canelo Alvarez, but yet he was still below Canelo Alvarez on the pound for pound. But now Beterbiev beat Bivol, and they say, oh, well, Bivol, we're going to give you credit for going the distance, being that you beat Canelo. So it's almost like Beterbiev gets credit for beating Bivol, who beat Canelo. He get a 2-for-1 chicken dinner, extra crispy, and give him a biscuit too and some sweet tea. How can you get double the points on your cash back? How? This shit don't make no motherfucking sense. And why y'all treating Jess Ban Rodriguez like he's a freaking stepchild? How can you have that man in the top 5 for that short period of time? And he didn't even have, his fight is coming up soon in November, right? He did absolutely nothing wrong. He did nothing wrong, yo. What did I say? Most of the top, 4 fighters are what? Undisputed. You had Usyk, Inoue, Crawford, Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez became undisputed before Beterbiev. Not only that, Canelo defended his titles. Beterbiev haven't had the opportunity to defend his titles. So goddamn it, I need answers. I need mother effing answers now. How in the hell did Beterbiev move up to number 4 by just picking up the motherfucking undisputed for the first time? And Canelo is a 4-division champion? Come on, man. Who are y'all basing all this shit off of, bro? Does Beterbiev have a Gennady Golovkin resume? Does he have one fighter on his freaking resume that stands out as Gennady Golovkin's resume and his accolades? Just one fighter? Dude, Beterbiev has one fighter that stands out like that. How does Beterbiev move in front of Canelo Alvarez? And he's a very fresh boot undisputed champion. Not only that, they're trying to tell you that, oh, all of a sudden, every other fighter, like the one that's next to him, Terrence Crawford, he's 37 years of age, but goddamn it, in January, you can already say right now that Beterbiev is 40. Beterbiev, as we see it, is the oldest motherfucking fighter on the pound for pound list, y'all. So what are they doing? Treating him like he's the grand old man of boxing and providing him with extra. How does he carry Bivol up to number 5 with him? And Bivol lost. Bivol was sitting outside of the top 5, yo. How? Somebody explain to me who is deriving this criteria and what deductive reasoning that they're coming up with the evidence to present the conclusion that 4 fighters changed places on the pound for pound list based off one light heavyweight undisputed. It's beyond a lot of people. It's beyond a lot of people. But you know, once again, I have to go back to around. I've been covering boxing for quite some time, and I've seen how these motherfuckers continue to just prove that whenever they feel like it, they can do shit in front of your freaking face, and it don't matter how you feel about it. Now, the good part about this is that there was an individual talking about how Beterbiev should be in front of Crawford. And I know why. It's his skin color. You know what I'm saying? It's his unpopularity. Real talk. They think because it's 3 black fighters on the pound for pound list, that's some type of affirmative action. We don't go for that no more. Earn it like everybody else, goddamn it. No affirmative action. You only got Terrence Crawford, Gervonta Davis, and freaking Devin Haney. But yet they go for the one that's in the top 3 that's earned it. And they was up there saying Betebiev should be in front of Crawford and not a Nui. Come on, bro. Nui doesn't even have near the freaking awards and achievements. Yes, he can say he's a 4 division champion. Yes, he can say he's 2 division undisputed. Cool. But they don't add up. Just like Betebiev don't add up. He don't add up. In my opinion, he don't add up. I'm just saying, how can Jermell Charlo become undisputed and don't make it on the pound for pound list? I'm just curious. Like, I remember Josh Taylor. Josh Taylor, he was undisputed. He was on the pound for pound list. I do. I remember that shit, yo. When Devin picked up undisputed 135, he didn't automatically go on the pound for pound list. So I'm trying to find out what criteria in a single division are they basing Beterbiev's placement to be right next to Crawford on the pound for pound list. And Beterbiev doesn't even scratch the bottom half of Crawford's achievements in boxing. He doesn't even goddamn put a speck of light. He doesn't even have a speck of, like a light. He can't hold a pinhole of light to Crawford's accolades based off one undisputed. Are you kidding me? Dude is 40 years old and just became the freaking undisputed based off one fighter who they was hating on anyway from a scoring little ex of his that want to freaking try to shine him in the media. And they want to say, oh, well, we in Saudi. You know who's going to get the favor in there. It's going to be the Muslim. And I have no problem with the Muslims. I'm just telling you, the writing was on the wall. The writing was on the fucking wall. That's why it was crazy for people to even bet on that fight. Because, yes, what we're finding out about Turki Al-Sheikh in a sense is that he's able to have the funding. But if you think he's not going to have these fights play out the way he wants them to play out, you're sadly mistaken. You know what I'm saying? You should goddamn spray some Windex on that motherfucking window. That shit got too many smudges on it. You can't see what's in front of you. That's a trend that's going on right now with these fights that they're trying to damn bring a fight back and, through controversy and shit. And I'm hearing from people who was actually there, certain things that went on and how certain fights was turning out. Hey, man, that's crazy. What do y'all think, though? How can Bam Rodriguez be shifted down to 7 when Bam Rodriguez actually defeated Juan Estrada, who was a former pound for pound member? Can you explain to me how that works out? How does that work out? Bivol, attendance on the pound for pound when he beat Canelo Alvarez, who has been a 317-day participant, a member, platinum on the pound for pound list. Do you see how this isn't making any sense? He beat Canelo to get him on the pound for pound list. And the crazy part about it was when Teofimo Lopez beat Lomachenko, they still kept Teo in the back half outside the top 5. And Lomachenko was number 2. The criteria ain't adding up, yo. The criteria isn't adding up. Where's Errol Spence? Bivol just took his first loss, right? Bivol just took his first loss, didn't he? So where's Errol Spence though? Real talk. Where's Errol Spence at? I'm just curious. Where's Errol Spence? Because Errol Spence is 28-1 right now, and he's just going off the list. What, he didn't meet the moral compass? He didn't pass the orientation test that you had to put, and they're gonna grade you and see if your moral compass, you earned enough points on your moral compass to have you located on this pound for pound list. Where's Errol Spence? He only has one loss to Crawford. Errol Spence was right next to Crawford the entire time prior to them fighting. And once he lost, he dropped into the bottom half. So somebody explain to me how Bivol moves up to number 5 and Betebiev number 4. And Canelo's number 6 and Bam is number 7. How the fuck is that supposed to make sense? Somebody please tell them to put the pipe down and back away from the table. This is some bullshit. Shout out to Martin King Boxing in the building. I see you. What's good with it, bro? NYT on deck. Devin should be thankful he even there. I guess it was the grit. The keep getting up. Jay in the building. I see you. What's good? Salute. Yeah, you know, I mean, I guess they're penalizing him for his last 4 opponents. I guess that's what it is. They're penalizing him. Seriously. Arnold Brown on deck, man. What's good? Cannabis Education and Entertainment TV. Bruce Gas, the OG on deck. What it do, man? Content Entertainment on deck. Salute. Bruce said, "Don't take it too serious." I'm just up here voicing and you know, doing a live stream. I do not get that attached to the content that I speak on. You know what I'm saying? But it does bring a lot of concern to me because I'm not understanding what is the ruler? What is the measurement? How do they say what's the rule of thumb? Where's the rule of thumb? What type of criteria are they basing this off for Betebiev to basically move up in the top 5 based off Bivol? How does Bivol shift to number 5? What did Canelo do to lose his slot? How? Because I understood the top 5 is what they should be. Like, what is the range when it comes to, do you have a certain point system that they go off of based off what have you done for me lately? It's not like Canelo hasn't fought in years. How can he be number 6? What, you trying to tell me all of a sudden the Hami Magia, Edgar Berlanga, and Mel Charlo, he was penalized 3 points each? You know what I'm saying? That moved him into the damn back end of the top 10. It doesn't make any sense what I'm trying to say. It doesn't make any sense to me that Betebiev and Bivol, just to hype up a rematch, should be number 5. Okay, if that's the case, Alexander Usyk is number 1. He just beat Tyson Fury. Why isn't Tyson Fury, who just picked up his first loss, why isn't he on the pound for pound list? Why? Because he didn't damn unify the cruiserweight division? Neither did Bivol. Neither did Betebiev. They have a single division championship status to their name. Even Bam Rodriguez has 2. Gervonta Davis has 3. If we're going off division, everybody else up there from Usyk to Inouye to Crawford to Canelo, multiple divisions. But Betebiev and Bivol, are up in the top 5. And who provided that? Who? So I mean, it's almost like Betebiev is getting credit for Bivol defeating Canelo. That's what it seems to me. Let's transition, yo. We'll get back to this. This is just crazy. I want to talk about the Devin Haney number 10, right? I want to talk about the Devin Haney situation that has been playing out. And people have, their the pluses and minuses to speak on that, right? So I want you to take a peek, you know what I'm saying, of what Betebiev said prior to the fight with him and Bivol about his top 5 pound for pound boxers, okay? He said number 5, Devin Haney. Okay. Number 5, Devin Haney. I don't know if y'all was able to hear that, but hold up for a second. Let me make sure. Let me make sure. Let me stop sharing. Let me go back. Because I want people to understand where I'm going with this, okay? Let's see. Hold on for a second. Let's play.
Crawford first, Neuer, maybe Usyk and Neuer second one, Canelo, Tyson Fury, and number 5 David Haney.
So Betebiev, the new undisputed light heavyweight world champion, is on record is saying that he has Devin Haney number 5. All right. There has been discussion about this. Devin Haney being number 5 based off what Arthur Betebiev just mentioned, right? Boxing News 24 put out an article. It said, quoting Devin Haney, "I will be number 1 pound for pound." Devin Haney reacted to Betebiev rating him number 5. Now, of course, people took to social media in a blaze, but they wasn't smoking. They was just trying to wave their hand through the smoke to see where was this fire coming from. Just a random arsonist, a person that was trying to stay warm because the damn weather's changed already. They were trying to see where the smoke was coming from. It goes to say, as we start this article, Devin Haney reacted on social media to Betebiev rating him number 5 for his personal list of pound for pound fighters, saying that he will be number 1 pound for pound. Not surprisingly, fans are roasting Haney over the prediction of being number 1 pound for pound. To become pound for now, look, once again, who is this writing again? Ken Woods. Now, once again, I was basically, scrubbing, just trying to give you an overlay on, is there a sense of criteria that is based off the selection process of names that are on the pound for pound list? This 1 pound for pound list of many is happen to be the ring pound for pound. Okay. It say to become number 1 pound for pound, Haney would need to beat some top level fighters in whichever decision he plans on fighting and when he eventually returns to the ring. Some fans question whether Haney is only interested in a cash out rematch against Ryan and would then retire after he's beaten again by him. Assuming, and this is just based off, opinion too. These authors, They be extremely biased, yo. Don't take it for facts. It says, assuming Haney is going to move up to 147, he would need to beat these welterweights for him to become number one pound for pound. Names like Jaron Boots Ennis, Brian Norman Jr., Mario Barrios, Stantionis. Beating all four of those fighters would potentially result in Haney being given a top spot in the pound for pound rating. He may still have to beat someone else to get the number one pound for pound position because only Boots Ennis is highly rated from that group. Haney has the size to fight at 154. So he could move to that weight class and pick up Terrence Crawford, Sebastian Fundora, or Tim Tszyu to get number one pound for pound position. Beating Boots and then one of these guys might do the trick for Haney. Many fans view the former two-division world champion Haney, 31-0, 15 knockouts, as washed after his 12-round majority decision loss to Ryan Garcia earlier this year on April 20th. Haney was dropped 3 times in that fight and looked overmatched. He hasn't fought since that loss and is now suing Ryan for several things. So this is one of the points I was trying to make. When how the lens looks to the boxing fans. And when you talk about the boxing fans, how much energy of their reaction to Haney saying this is going to be blended in with their criticism of who he is as a fighter. And look, we're talking about him just fresh off this fight last April and how he looked in the fight. Yes, he may be suing. Does he have a right to sue? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But through the eyes, through the pupils of these boxing fans who can be extremely critical, they're looking at it like you was knocked down 3 times. Just like they said in this fight. It seems like Devin was overmatched. You know what I'm saying? It goes on to say, they point out that undisputed light heavyweight champ Betebiev mentioned last week that he doesn't watch boxing. For Haney to come back from that defeat, it could be difficult because his opponents will follow the Ryan blueprint by targeting him with short left hooks to the head. Haney couldn't block that shot all night and was repeatedly hurt. Devin needs to find his confidence again, so I don't think it would behoove him to go right back to a rematch, especially what Ryan Garcia said, Chris Algieri, to ProBox TV about Devin Haney needing to regain his confidence before fighting Ryan Garcia again. I think he needs to find his legs again, find his combinations and his timing. All that's going to be important as a boxer. I gave Haney a hard time, but I still think it's soft that he's suing. And he's suing for a lot of different things. And he's hoping that one of these things will stick, said Tim Bradley. And that was the article from Boxing News 24. So myself, I need to get back to this chat right quick. Shout out to Blue Hustle in the building. I see you, Blue. What's good? What's good? Salute, brother. Big shout out to everybody on this Wednesday. I see the Queen in the building. Jessica on deck. Salute to you. Hope all is well your way. I hope that everyone is doing great today. Betebiev doesn't even follow boxing. I have heard that before, right? But you know, it's difficult to believe a fighter doesn't follow boxing and he just goes off fighting bears, and that bear is teaching him all the technique that he needs to get into the ring, because simply, you know, he expects people to believe that if he can go up there and wrestle a bear isn't human, and it's umpteen times stronger than a human being, so he should be just fine. I don't know, but let's talk about this. Am I within my rights to say that Betebiev was wrong with saying that Devin Haney should be number 5, right? No. You know why? Because that's his pound for pound list. I'm not going to go in on the guys pound for pound, because I have those individuals on the YTC that have worse pound for pound list than what he said, even though he just gave you the top 5. There are people on here that has worse top 5s than Betebiev. Just because he has Devin Haney ranked number 5, that's him. Maybe they get a little bit more credit, 5 points, to bring him up to number 5 because of their faith, their religious faith. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But I do want to talk about people feeling some type of way about Haney saying he'll be pound for pound. If Haney believes, Devin Haney at that, believes that he'll be pound for pound in the future, that's what he believes, man. He's still in his 20s. Is it possible for Haney to become pound for pound? I don't know, because it's full of politics. And just the entry on how he became a member of the pound for pound list was shaky. You know what I'm saying? He had a public spat with those individuals. And this is politics, bro. This is politics. This is extremely politics. See, when you like Gervonta Davis, they can't deny you the slot that he's holding. They can't deny it because, he brings the highlight reel. You know what I'm saying? People say he should fight this person, that, but he's different type of fighter. Everybody, you can tell everybody that is in that room has an acquired taste on how they view the boxer that they're voting on. It's an acquired taste, yo. They're not coming in there with 10 fighters and they treat all of them the same. No, it's specific criteria that elevates a fighter or sustains a fighter. You know what I'm saying? That's it. And somehow, some way, Betebiev and Bivol was in the good graces of somebody who felt that Betebiev should move up to slot number 4, along with Bivol slot number 5, and Bivol lost. That's crazy when the top 3 fighters are undefeated. That's just crazy. Usyk is still undefeated. Anui's still undefeated. Crawford's still undefeated. Yes, they moved Betebiev up there because he has an O. But come on, you're talking about multiple division champions providing you strict criteria to base that shit off of, on what their achievement and accolades consist of, their portfolio, their body of work. They're giving you that. But Betebiev and Bivol is just single division champion. You know what I'm saying? And look, I'm not disputing the fact that Errol Spence was on there. He's the single division unified champion. I'm not disputing that at all. But when Errol Spence took that one, where is he at though? He took one loss. Where is he at? It's not adding up. And this is how I'm a slam the door on this. It's not fucking adding up. Because Errol Spence lost to the longest reigning pound for pound fighter. So how in the hell does Errol Spence disappear from the pound for pound list when Crawford is the longest reigning pound for pound member in this right now as we speak? So Bivol, just not too long ago when he beat Canelo, he's been on the pound for pound list 127. Betebiev 39. 39 weeks now. 127 weeks. Crawford 493 weeks, yo. Canelo Alvarez 317 weeks. So if Errol Spence lost to Terrence Crawford, who's been on there 493 weeks, how can he disappear? And Bivol's been in here 127 compared to Betebiev 39. How does Betebiev shift places? How does he get credit for Bivol and Canelo at the same time? But yet Errol Spence doesn't get credit for Crawford, who's been on there longer than any fighter. Somebody, please, anybody, explain that. And a Popeyes 3-piece, 2 wings and a breast with a fresh biscuit with some honey. Somebody explain how this shit works, because I'm tight. I'm very type confused. I'm type confused on this shit. Seriously, I'm just confused. Bam Rodriguez, 2 division champion. but he beat Juan Estrada, who last time I checked at one point in time, he was number 8, number 9. Juan Estrada was here for a minute. He had fights with Roman Gonzalez, AK Chocolatito. I mean, how does this whole thing play out, man? I'm not going to continue to ask you information that you don't have yourself. I mean, what does the application look like? What is the range? How many days? What do you have to meet? What standards? Are there any standards to shifting and moving on the pound for pound list? Because look, pay attention. Pay attention. I'm curious to know, when it comes to Crawford, how much credit does he have if he was to take a first loss? How much credit does he have to stay in the top 5? Seriously. How much credit does he have to stay in the top 5? God damn it. I'm very, very curious. Because right now, from welterweight having two fighters in the same division, now that's where we at. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Canelo is at 168, of course. Yeah, he fought at 175, so we can't include him. We can't include him at the 175 light heavyweight. So you got him at 68, flyweight for Bam. I mean, super flyweight for Bam. 35 for freaking Gervonta Davis. And those top 8 right now are the ones that are getting a little fuzzy. It's getting a little fuzzy for me. I think Gervonta should be in front of Bam, if you ask me. But, based off, Bam, his likability and all that, people are going to continue to try to move him up, and who he's connected with, they're going to try to, keep him on a pound for pound list, but they did him dirty. I don't think Bivol should be in front of Bam Rodriguez. I think he should still be number 5. Bivol should be number 7, and Canelo. I'm talking about if they're gonna move it, if they're gonna move Canelo, and Canelo should pretty much be where he at. If they're gonna do that, Bivol shouldn't be there. I'm bullshitting with y'all, yo. I'm bullshitting. I'm just trying to liven it up. I'm bullshitting. Canelo should be right where he's supposed to be at number 4. You know what I'm saying? I'm just bullshitting now. People always say, and this starts sounding like some little bird chicks, man. Just playing around with you now. Canelo should be at number 4. Bam should be at number 5. And Betebiev should be at number 6. And Bivol should be somewhere in the bottom 3. Because Gervonta Davis is a 3-division champion, undefeated. He definitely has more pay-per-view interest than freaking Nakatani, Devin Haney, and Rodriguez. To my shout out to Eclipse 330 in the building. Salute to you. I see you. What's good? What's good? I agree with that. Everyone has their own pound for pound, and they're subjective. And this is the same with Ring magazine list. I'm not really I'm just trying to find out their subjectiveness, right? Like, in order for you to be subjective, I want to say that it has to do with basically itemizing your criteria. What are you basing it off of? That's all I want to know. It just can't be a freestyle. But yet this is boxing. So yes, it can be a freestyle, and also it can be biased, and also it can be who's connected to what. It can be a lot of things that just, you know, divert us away from the seriousness of it. You know what I'm saying? The seriousness is going off the body of work, the resume, portfolio, digging a little bit more, and in what they've accomplished, awards, championships, all that shit. It kind of flies away from that a little bit, right into a brick wall. You know what I'm saying? It kind of flies away big time. So you have to ask yourself, like, are they taking serious stuff, or is it just based off favoritism and them, them shaking up the pound for pound list to have people to tune in and talk about it? Because a lot of standings, so to speak, in this era, to me, it just always seems like it's based off controversy. It seems like it's always against the grain to kind of have someone raising a brow, saying, oh, like, I don't agree with that. They'd rather somebody shake their head first than nod in agreement. Real talk. They want you to shake your head. No, 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 I don't believe that. No, no, hell no. That's what they want your reaction to be. Instead of you nodding your head, yes, okay, I agree with that. I agree with that. No, they want you to pay attention. They want you to put their name out there, and this list does that. They know goddamn well, but Betebiev and Bivol shouldn't be 4 and 5. Let me ask you all in the chat. What is your take on this? Can y'all provide me that? What is your take on this pound for pound list after seeing it? Can you provide me your take? I'm gonna put it back up there. Can you provide me your take on the top 8? Pretty much the top 7. Okay, 4 through 7 is where the movement, the shift happened. What is your take, man? Or do you even care? Even Doug Fisher say he has no say in the ratings. He put out what his boss say. Okay. I totally get where you at with it, Bruce. But this is just not a Fisher, you know what I'm saying, a finger pointing dark game. You know what I'm saying? This is not just him. I'm just trying to find out, like, how many board members or table attendees are there? Who are they? What influences their decision? Mr. The OG, Mr. Golden on deck. What it do? I see you. Salute to you, brother. Joseph Bailey, what's good? I didn't even see you on here. I don't see some of them people on here. Got you, bro. I hope you get it fixed, bro. Good, God willing. Who would have thought? Shout out to T23. He said Canelo don't deserve it. He's not fighting no one. And see, when you use that D word, deserve, it gets real, fuzzy and staticky, bro. Because deserving is one of those terms that has, a very thin bottom to it. Like you're trying to stand on wet toilet, you know what I'm saying? Wet cardboard. If you go into this damn, this landmark, they say, hey, you walk across that bridge, it's 3,000 feet up in the air. But there have been people to make it across that motherfucker. But the one thing about it, you're walking on cardboard and it's wet for a reason. So if you slip and fall, make sure you spread your arms out. You know what I'm saying? And try to, spread your fingers apart and try to catch some air on the way down before you crash off the rocks. It'll lighten your A. You still can survive now. And When you talk about that word deserve, it's a slippery slope, especially when it comes to boxing. Because depending on how loyal the fan base is for this fighter, they'll be up here. Hey, so and so deserve. Okay, what? Canelo, he deserved. Look what he's did. He deserved. What about Crawford? He don't deserve shit. What about Betebiev? Betebiev beat Bivol, who beat Canelo. He deserved. What about Usyk? Usyk deserved. He unified the cruiserweight division, came up here and fought a whopping Chase Witherspoon, Derek Chisora, and beat Anthony Joshua twice. Just that alone, man, he deserved. He ended up just recently beating Tyson Fury, who beat Deontay Wilder. He deserved. I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you, bro. That's a slippery slope right there. Slippery. For real, slippery. Doesn't Golden Boy own ring? There's your answer. Yeah, Golden Boy, owns ring, but you have to ask yourself, like, who's all signed to Golden Boy on this list? Is every fighter signed to Golden Boy? The ones that we have argument, the ones we're debating about, is that what we're debating? Because slot 4 through 7, all those was changed. Canelo was moved down 2 slots. When Bivol lost, clearly, I'm just saying on the scorecards, clearly what was presented out to the media, Bivol lost. I don't think he lost. I think he won. But I'm just saying on the scorecards, Bivol lost. So do Ring believe that Bivol won and they want to basically award him for winning just because there was some biasness going on there? Because there have been fighters like Errol Spence who fought the longest reigning pound for pound holder attendee, and he's all but disappeared off the list, man. And it's just outside of a year. About 15 months, right? How does that work? That's all I'm saying. I truly believe Betebiev deserves the pound for pound nod because of who he beat, the undisputed close victory. Canelo resume is trash. OG in modern times because of 2023 and 2024. I don't know, man. That language just to say that Canelo's resume is trash is just crazy. Look, I've been on record as criticizing more than 30 of his professional fights being in Mexico. But I also understand, how the entire process works. In boxing, of fighters building up their resume. You know what I'm saying? How you fluff a pillow. That's a format in boxing for some fighters. Not all fighters, but some fighters. I have that mentality because when I was a teenager, I used to go to TJ, and when I was in California and freaking watch fights and have conversations and kind of learn how that shit worked. Because when you want to talk about trash fights, I've seen some trash fights over there. But I understood. I learned why it was the way it was. You know what I'm saying? Being that young, learning why I was watching what I was watching. Let's put it this way. Crawford is pound for pound king. All the rest is popularity. Hey, man. Only if you was on the board, man. Maybe if you was on the board. You know what I'm saying? We got to call up Mr. Fisher and say, hey, put T23 on the board, man. We need to switch up those members. We need to see how the pound for pound list look if we add about 3 or 4 other members, period. But saying that, Canelo's resume is trash based off Munguia, Belanga, and Charlo, I can understand where you can say, well, his selection process is trash and he's just cruising along, right? He's just cruising along. But while Canelo, is basically losing a little bit of carbon, helium, and hydrogen, is because of that selection process. He's put little pinholes in that motherfucking balloon. But the one truth that you're leaving out there Monty King Boxing, is that his checks are not reflecting the pinholes. His checks ain't coming down like that, bro. You have people, human beings out here that say they support the sport of boxing, and they say, hey, man, if Canelo won 150 million, 200 to fight David Benavidez, he should get it. You know what I'm saying? Long as these individuals, these mutants, are out here saying some dumb. Now you want to talk about trash? That's some trash right there. 150, 200 million to fight Benavidez, who, make up your fucking mind if he's a quality opponent or not. And shout out to Monty King Boxing with the $2 super chat. One love to you, brother. I appreciate you always supporting the channel. He said Usyk, Crawford, Anui, Betebiev. Okay, he's talking about his top four: Usyk, Crawford, Anui, Betebiev. I have no problem with that. You know what I'm saying? I have no problem with it. But I still, say Crawford and what he's been able to accomplish should be pound for pound in the standings, because he was the first. When you're the first, it shouldn't be who are you and your popularity when you become the first. When Canelo became the first at 168, man, goddamn, people was jumping off cliffs and shit with bed sheets. Tomorrow, I know I can float to the bottom. They was jumping off cliffs with bed sheets. We can do it. This is for you, Canelo. We're sorry to report, in the state of boxing, we have witnessed mass casualties of individuals jumping off a cliff over in Mexico to celebrate their loyalty to the King, the God, the Savior, their Lord, Canelo Alvarez. Nobody can agree on the outcome of a fight. So, of course, ratings are always going to be questioned. Nobody can agree on the outcome of a fight. If it wasn't full of controversy, man, if it wasn't a cocktail of disappointment, that's all I'm saying, Bruce. You've been around the game, Bruce. Come on, man. Come on, man. You know, there's some, look, if it's one Bruce, then there's a two Bruce and a three Bruce. There's people out there that look at the sport through a non-biased lens. There's people that's out there that give it to you straight, to say, oh, this is what I think. They're out there, bro. To say nobody, no, they're out there. It's just the ones that's in place. Those are the ones that are causing mass confusion, because they're not even trying to put out the information that is right, because they'll tell you, hey, we don't really want to put out what's right based off the body of work. We want to put out something that really rubs people, get them inflamed a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Have them going to the Walgreens and get some over-the-counter medication to help with that, that little rash that they got, all because we put out information that we know that's going to rub people the wrong way. And they're going, you know what I'm saying? And it's going to cause a little rash. That's what they want. They don't want to put out what the body of work rates them fighters. Honestly, on the pound for pound, they want to just do what they did. Look at it. Betebiev and Bivol get moves up 2 slot over Canelo Alvarez. And I would just like to know, what was the minuses that you subtracted from Canelo's body of work to allow him to descend 2 slots to number 6? That's all I want to know. But shout out to Monty King Boxing for that $2 super chat. I appreciate you, dog. I'm going to get Fisher on the show this week. Hey, man, I definitely go over there. I definitely want to, get some questions and have a conversation. I've heard Fisher on him before. I've seen him in person, had a short, brief conversation with him. You know what I'm saying? That'll be great, man. If I know Bruce ain't up here capping, because yeah, he got the contacts. I know Bruce ain't part of the freaking ring pound for pound list. I know he's not sitting at the table, putting that bullshit out there, you know. So yeah, I look forward to that, man. I'm definitely gonna pull up. Hope I get your notification, man. You know what I'm saying? Do you have an IG there, Bruce? I need to give you my contact, man, so you can, you know, so I can really know when you have some people on there, because I don't get your YouTube notifications like that. Cinnamon Buns, aka Canelo, has been slipping in the last 2 years, and he had another big loss. Hey, man, Canelo has assumed the throne of the golden child. You know what I'm saying? For quite some time. Lomachenko, he was once upon a time up there. Okay. But Lomachenko started getting exposed. And, you know, for a minute, the Lomachenkos and the Gennady Golovkins was just chilling on the pound for pound list with no belts. Say I'm lying. Say I'm lying. No, I'm not. I'm being absolutely honest. The most honest ratings. Well, I know the BWA is has the controversy too. You know what I'm saying? We know that for a fact. Um, but I just pull up the ring because it's just super controversial. But I know the BWA is, in my opinion, a little bit more consistent than the ring. That's all. You go to the BWA, Boxer Writers Associations of America. Um, you know, let me share this right quick. Let me stop sharing this. Let's go to the BWAA, and their board members are different, in my opinion. If you can see right here. Oh, my fault. Let me just go right here. See right here, they have Canelo Alvarez, and they even put the point system up there. Number 1, Terrence Crawford. Number 2 is 130 points. Naoya Inoue, 112. Number 3, Errol Spence. Number 4. Now, of course, okay, the updates are what they are. I'm just going off what they have. Number 5, Teofimo Lopez. Number 6, Tyson Fury. Number 7, Alexander Usyk. Number 8, Vasily Lomachenko. 9-1, Francisco Estrada. And 10, Gennady Golovkin. Now, that's even more controversial than the ring. But the ring, just like I say, you know, it's more popular to people. You know, I mean, that list right there, if Martin King want to call anything trash, that's a trash pound for pound list right there. Non-recyclable trash. They need to update that shit. For real. But we have to see how everything plays out at the end of the day with this you know, with this shift and everything to Devin Haney. I'm not going to sit up here and be overly critical of Devin Haney, saying that he's going to be pound for pound, but it's hard for me to see it psychologically. You know, if I'm trying to you know, forecast the achievements that Devin Haney, you know, has in front of him, it's kind of hard for me to see him having the popular vote. He would really have to go through a gauntlet of fighters to be pound one. It's just too many that's out there right now, with Canelo still being on deck, Crawford on deck, even Inoue on deck. I don't think Devin will never be as popular as a Nui in life, because this based off popularity too. Also combined with your resume. So I don't think he'll ever be popular than a Nui for me to see Devin Haney in front of a Nui. That's if and when he picks up a third division. I don't see it happening. As long as a Nui has 2 undisputed and 4 division and continue to fight, let's just say he moves up to 126, he's still going to be elevating. Still. So I'm not going to say it's impossible for Devin Haney to be pound for pound number 1, right? If he believes in himself, that's first and foremost. That's what means everything. He believes that he can. What we believe, of course, is going to be, a reactive type of response based off what we know and what we've seen off his last fight with Ryan Garcia, the performance value, him being beat up the way he was. And yes, it was full of controversy. We'll just see how it plays out, man. Well, I've heard worse about this. I've heard worse from people who have had responses to Devin Haney believing that he'll be pound for pound. It's an article out said Jaron Ennis wants to be undisputed in 4 divisions. I mean, once again, I can't say anything about that. He wants to be undisputed 147. Yeah, you heard me right. He wants to be undisputed in 4 division. Look, I like Ennis, but some of the shit he just be saying, bro, it just be crazy, bro. Like, you have to get on the ball. Do you know how long it takes for you to collect the belts? Even at 147, you haven't collected one other belt other than that one that you have. Period. So for this article to be out and say Jaron Ennis wants to be undisputed in 4 divisions, oh my God, man. Dude, stop. Come on. You got to get going, bro. And lastly, Benavidez Sr. wants Artur Betebiev after David Morrell. And what that means is they're going into this David Morrell fight with the intentions of winning. And they say they wants to fight Artur Betebiev after they go ahead and beat Morrell. And me, I've been on record already. I told you all. I said I believe that Benavidez goes in there and beats David Morrell. I do not see Morrell with the amount of experience that he doesn't have. He's going to go ahead and shock just based off the power that's been exacerbated by these fans. You know what I'm saying? I don't give him any more power than anyone else based off the quality of opposition he's fought. I don't. They say Canelo has this masterful power and this, that, and the other. But when you talk about complimentary 1 knockdowns per the contract, check the box, but we're going to go the distance type of shit. Where's the knockout power? You fought Gennady Golovkin 3 times and then drop him 1 time in the fight. In either of the 3 fights, you didn't drop him once. Where is the knockout power? The same thing with David Morrell. Where's the knockout power? Have you fought somebody on the level of a Benavidez in your life? The answer is no, right? So we have to see how that plays out. We have to see, because I'm not going to get on my Benavidez and Morrell, both fighters, man. I'm just saying, they're trying to get on, they're trying to find a way to get Morrell on the pound for pound list. Look, it's going to be a Deontay Wilder effect all over again. Deontay Wilder, sit up here and had all the freaking accolade and the defenses of his title and reigning for over 5 years, but got nowhere close to getting the accolades until Fury beat him, and then he gets put on the fight of the year with Teofimo Lopez. Bullshit, trash all the way from front to back. God damn it, trash. So that's that. You trying to tell me David Morrell beat David Benavidez? He's gonna get on the pound for pound list? Get the fuck out of here. I can understand Dimitri Bivol getting on the pound for pound list for beating Canelo Alvarez, just like T.O. did when he beat Lomachenko, yo. Just like Estrada. Estrada was defeated by Jess Ban Rodriguez. Where's Ban Rodriguez right now? Sonny Edwards wasn't on the list. Juan Estrada was at a time or 2. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's going to be interesting. And shout out to Tim Tszyu. A lot of people are not talking about his next fight, but it is for a title. People really don't know what's next. Tim Tszyu, is giving us that prima donna talk, like he don't want to fight Crawford. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, don't get mad at Crawford fighting a mixed martial artist like Conor McGregor to get the bag. Because at the end of the day, like I said about Canelo, the money is what matters most. Canelo is a Hall of Famer. He knows he's a Hall of Famer as we speak. But he wants to continue to make those huge paychecks because that is what really matters when you're talking about hanging up the gloves, you know what I'm saying, and living off your wealth. Money, not the belts. What did Mike Tyson say? These belts are trash. Look, I tell you straight up, the belts are trash. If I had to do it all over again, it's cool. The youngest heavyweight champion, I understand all of that. But the money is trash, man. The belts don't mean anything to me. Money means everything. You know, my dispensary means everything. My care packages that I gave Errol Spence Jr. with all my goddamn, pre-rolls in there. Slow burning. The shit he was high on when he walked to the ring. That's what means the most to me. You know what I'm saying? The belts don't mean a thing. You know, what I'm about to make with Jake Paul. That's what means to me. The bag I'm about to make with Jake Paul, that means the most to me. Not those belts I won. Boxing don't give a fuck about Mike Tyson. I'm serious, y'all. That's how it is. Mike don't give a fuck about no motherfucking belts. He want to continue to make money. And you have boxing fanatics who frown on fighters like it's bad for them to make money just because Canelo said pay. But Canelo mentioned 150 and they don't mention shit about a payday. You can't get overly mad about these motherfuckers because in life, man, human beings are extremely biased, man. There's some evil individuals, some of them, especially when it comes to boxing. So don't get mad. You know what I'm saying? It's just they want you to believe that only certain people should get paid. And then the other boxers who's trying to get paid, when they say, oh, they just trying to get a payday, they want you to believe that it's all wrong. It's not. It's not all wrong. It's boxing is a business. So what the fuck is a business? Buying belts? That's what you're doing, buying belts. Because once you become a champion, you have to pay that 3% sanctioning fee, goddamn it. And you don't get a residual. It's not like the military. You get your retirement based off the amount of belts. In the military, based off your rank and how many years you was able to put in. You know what I'm saying? Up to a certain year as you to retire, and then you get paid for the rest of your life and benefits. That's not boxing. Real talk, that's not boxing. So belts doesn't give you a residual income. But your income, depending on how much money you make during your career, you can invest that and you can allow it to provide you residual income and support your family. Because look, if you are mature enough, right? Because I know the hottest chat in the game, I got some boxing aficionados on deck, right? Just look at it this way. You would never allow anyone to dictate if you was set to make this amount of money. Allow somebody to say, no, you don't need that, man. I know it's a lot of money. It's the most you ever made in your life, but you don't need that. But man, I kind of need it because I need to take care of some bills. And I said, man, bills, man, come on. You haven't heard conspiracy theories? There's no such thing as bills, man. The US dollar, the currency, is not what you think it is, man. It's in the trash right now. You know what I'm saying? Credit scores, man. Come on, it really don't mean anything. What do you really have to put on credit, man? Huh? What do you really have? You know what I'm saying? Come on. It's people out there that talk like that. But who are we to tell or basically gripe and complain about a fighter negotiating their worth in the sport of boxing when this career can end at any time. Like you have fighters that tell you they've been in the game 15 years, right? I'm just using this example. You got fighters that tell you they've been in the game 15 years, but yet they can't tell you when they're going to retire, especially if they know what their finances and what their bank account is looking like. They can't sit up here and tell you. But if you had the military talking, I'm not trying to compare fighters to the military. I'm just talking about the structure. You know what I'm saying? The scale in which how we think. We get to 15 years, you say, we got 5 years before I can retire. I got 5 more years. This is something that's set in stone. This is on paper. Unless you fuck up or whatever, you're able to get out and retire. As in boxing, it's no set retirement date because that's just not the way the sport is set up. It's no paperwork to say that they're going to pay you for the rest of your life with health care. Whatever problems you may have from your 8th fight to your 11th fight to your 18th fight, the damage you receive, you can always go here and you're going to get medical attention. It's not that. So they have every right to negotiate their worth, bro. BoxRec has Usyk 16th. See, man, God damn, shawty, for that's crazy, man. That's crazy. Damn, 16th. Canelo should be proud of his number 6, and he got the most fans. He an old head now, almost out to pasture with who he's been picking on instead of fighting Crawford like a man. Yeah, man, he should. He should still talking about that 150 and all that bullshit. He's duck. He's a duck when it comes to that. Real talk. And that's a word I don't like using because people abuse it. But he's really, avoiding that fight out, man. Talking about what he ain't gonna. In one minute he says easy money, but he don't find Crawford as an opponent to make money. It makes no sense to me. Yeah, BoxRec, they allow people to come over there and buy them and remove this sanctioned body. Hey, I will say this: boxing fans should be concerned about Turkey Al-Sheikh come over there, extracting information, inserting themselves into BoxRec, trying to reconstruct certain criteria that we used to accessing. Hey, that's boxing, man. There's no way that shit gonna piss me off because it's been decades upon decades where certain individuals that's been around the sport that has a higher influence than the average boxing fan and consumer, they could have already made these changes, but none of these promoters want to work together. And also it's always a struggling budget with them. Now you have foreigners coming over here inserting themselves into boxing. And at first, initially, it looks like, hey, man, that's good, man. Turkey Al-Sheikh come over here doing what should be done. But look, Turkey Al-Sheikh is not really giving us the fights that we want. Turkey Al-Sheikh is giving us the fights that he wants. He's giving us the fights that he wants. Real talk. He wants these fights. I think pound for pound and what the fighters that are projected to be on it comes with the element of danger. All fans look at boxers for having, and that's why the little guys aren't as visible lately. Well, they always put the little guys now. They always put the little guys on there. Just at one time, Juan Estrada was on there. You have Junto Nakatani on there right now. You know what I'm saying? Devin Haney still, he's in lighter divisions. You know what I'm saying? 135 formerly. Then you have to remember that Anui, come on, man. Anui's one of those guys that they don't show mad love to. Super bantamweight champion. I mean, come on, bro. They show love to the little guys. Anui is that guy. He's small. Yeah. Real talk. But I'm almost at my hour and a half, man. Big shout out to everybody that pulled up. Salute to the hottest chat in the MF and game. Appreciate y'all for supporting. Once again, shout out to Marlon King Boxing for donating to the channel. If anyone else selects to do so, you already know what you can do it if you want. There goes the Cash App right there, WC Sports, and also this is a monetized channel. So big shout out to y'all. Continue to support. Until next time, I'm out.